Yo, what's going on, people? You are listening, you're watching. This is No Money, Mo Problems. I'm joined by OT Fagbenle. Did I say that right?
Yeah, almost. What's your heritage?
Well, my mom's from Jamaica, my dad's from St. Lucia.
Okay.
But you see your name, yeah?
Fagbenle.
Is it Nigerian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Nigerian, yeah.
But the way it sounds like French or something.
Fagbenle.
Yeah.
When I was in America, and when I first started going out there for auditions, they'd be like, all right, next up is OT Fag. I'd be like, yeah, that's me, bro.
So like, I've met you a good couple times now.
Yeah.
One, I didn't know that Daps was your brother. That was like another like revelation as well.
Daps music director.
Yeah. Like I've known Daps for a little while as well. Just through like me just doing comedy, and then I think I was doing this presenting thing and I met him there, and he just keep seeing people around and stuff. And then one time he said, "Yeah, man, he's my brother still."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" Yeah, bro, you better lying, bro. You know?
Yeah, people like, that's my cousin. Ain't your cousin, bro. You just grew up with him.
yeah. So I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, we're proper brothers. I was like, okay, all right. And the first time like I proper met you when you done my pilot.
Yeah, for the Big Nasty.
So which was before we done the latest show. So anyone watching, before we done the latest show, we done a pilot. And that wasn't called the latest show then, that was called Mo's Town. Right,
okay. That was the original.
Yes, that's the one you came down to.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of jokes. Why did you guys get divorced?
What, me and Nasty?
Yeah, no, I'm joking. But you lot got two different shows now, right?
No. So what it was, how it worked is I went to I had a meeting, and in that meeting they said, look, we'd like to give you your own show. Yeah. Channel 4, 10 o'clock. I said, wow, that's amazing. Like blew my mind away. Then in that same meeting they said, we've also got this thing with Big Nasty. Right. Like he's gonna have a show, would you like to be a co-host? So I said, yeah, cool. I love that. They said, well, like, we're going to start production quite soon. Like, your project will take a little bit of time
to develop
and what we want it to be and all that kind of stuff. And then, my show come out. So Big Nasty came out. We done the first series. I think we done, I don't know how many episodes we done. I think we done 6 episodes first. Right. Second series, I think we done 8 episodes. Right. And I think we had a Christmas special as well. Right. And then my one came around. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like, so, yo, blood, why did you leave? Right. Like it was a beef thing. It's like, said I left? Listen, this was part of the plan since day dot. Yeah, I was just like, I never said I left. So you lot still, love each other? Oh, yeah. Great guy, man. Definitely got to get Big Nasty on the pod. But I'm here with you today. Now, when I met you, I remember you asked me to film something on your phone. That's right. Yes. That's right. Yeah. And what was that you asked me to film? So basically, I'm doing this TV show called Max, MAXXX for E4, right? Yes. And so it's a normal sitcom about this washed up pop star who's trying to make a comeback to get back his famous ex-girlfriend Jordan Dunn, but one of the ways that I like to work is I like to do some guerrilla filmmaking and mix it in with the real filmmaking, right? So whenever I go and I meet great people, I just be like, yo, get the camera out and see if we can shoot a little sketch. So we got the Backstreet Boys, we got Kelly Clarkson, we got, like a bunch of people, right? And so when I knew I was doing a thing with you, I was like, come on, listen, this guy's money on screen, let's try and get a little thing. The only thing was though, when I did it, to be honest, I still to this day feel bad because you had been working hard. I could see it on your face. You were so tired. And I was relentless. I was like, come on, bro, you could do it. And you look like you were broken. Like you look like you needed sleep. I remember I was mad tired still.
Yeah.
So is that the project that you're doing now?
That's the project I'm doing now. It's coming out in April, and it's going to be on E4 sick. Here in UK and Hulu in the States. And it's crazy. I'm really proud of it.
I remember going out because we'd filmed. So basically, OT was a guest on my show, and I remember that time, Handmaid's Tale was like I think it wasn't the series that's come out, the previous one maybe. And I think it really kind of caught people's attention a lot as well. Kicking off. And even when you kind of done the pilot, it was quite last minute. You kind of
it was really last minute.
It was really last minute, And I remember at the end, he was like, yes, I'm filming this thing, just like, you got to act like, I can't remember what he said, he was like, I had to act like Like you acted like a diva or something like that.
Yeah. The kind of recurring joke is everyone thinks I'm a dick, and so like, like work we did with you, and we got like the Backstreet Boys to be like, who the fuck are you? And we got Kelly Clarkson to be like, who the hell is this guy? And we got Jonathan Ross to make fun of me, and so that was the recurring thing. We didn't use your bit, like we're saving it, I guess, or maybe we'll do another one, you know, because you looking like this, innit? There was yeah.
Now with this episode, like I always like when I get guests on this podcast, I always sit down. I'm like, what's the subject gonna be? What's the subject gonna be? And I always kind of like racking my brain, and I was just like, well, OT, I met you as an actor,
right?
And I've delved into like, you know, the performing arts and the acting. Comedy's always kind of been more my first love, because I always felt that was like the one thing I was good at.
Right.
Like acting, I've always felt like I was good at it.
Sorry. My 1 minute. You got some on your eye. You got a little white dot.
Is it gone? Is it there, yeah?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh,
you got it.
Big ups for that still.
I'm not going to let you.
There's people already been in the comments. Like, big man, wipe that crust off your eyebrow, big man.
And there'll be people sitting here letting you go on, looking at it as well. Just
I respect
like, I got your back, bro.
Just looking at me like, I hear what you're saying, but flick off that crust, big man.
Sorry, so you were saying.
But I've always felt like comedy has been like more for me, my first love, essentially. Like I've loved acting. I think for me though, with comedy, I was more in control of it. Right. So I was in control of my destiny in terms of like, cool, the joke worked, that's cool. Right. It didn't work, we work on it. Right. Whereas acting, I wasn't ever in control of it. Right. So even though I'm in control of performance, you know, sometimes you're looking at other actors, especially when it's more stage stuff, where you're forgetting a line, and you just need someone to act an improv as well. Right. And you're looking at man like, yeah. See the lane, brother? Yeah, right. And he's like, I don't know the lane you're saying, bro. So, how did you get into acting?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I was a young musician. I played sax since the age of 10, and then there was an African theatre group run by a guy, the late Rufus Shayomi, and he asked me if I play sax during intervals, and then he gave me a line in the play, and then he was like, "You're all right." He gave me 2 lines, and within a year, I was playing the lead in the show. And this is me still a teenager, 15, 16, doing tour in Germany and shit like that. And then, but I was doing a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, long story short, I decided that this is my thing. Went to drama school, went to RADA, applied to 2 drama schools. And then, and then I just started auditioning. And so that's how I got into acting.
And in terms of you going to drama school, we had Babatunde on, who was on this. Do you know Babatunde? Yeah. A comedian? Yeah. He went to drama school, so he was saying about the process. How did you find drama school?
Well, you know what? I was so ignorant about it. I really loved it, to be honest. And I was like, I don't know. I was just into theatre. I was just into it. And I loved everything about theatre. It was weird for me because culturally it was very different. I went to a school which was like 80% Indian, 15% black, 5% white, and then you got drama. It's just everybody's white basically. I was the only black person in my year, and then I'm half of that. So there wasn't, you know. So that was different for me. That cultural change, but in terms of a process and the things I got to learn there, I loved it.
Because everyone says drama school is like intense. Like they always say like when you go drama school, like you get the best training because it's so intense. And it's so like raw.
It's intense and it's long hours. You know, people go university 15-hour weeks. You know, we're doing 40, 50-hour weeks. Saying that, weirdly enough, I felt like I coasted through drama school. Like,
oh wow,
like actually
3 years you done.
3 years, rather, and then actually like my commitment to my art came maybe even 2 years after I graduated, where, you know, I'd been coasting and everything had been going fine. Like, I've been working, blah, 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 you know, no big things, but like working. And then I just said, I remember I was in a rehearsal room one day, I was chatting to myself and I was like, you know what, why don't you see what happens if you like go mad? Like, just work the hardest you can work. And so I said, I made a deal with myself. I said, all right, 2 years. I mean, I've been coasting, things been fine. I got to drama school, I got, you know, like, but really work for 2 years, see what happens. And if it's no different, then we just go back to coasting. Like, coasting was working out. Yeah. And then within those 2 years, I got my first lead, won my first award, got my first movie with Oscar-winning director. Like shit changed. Now, look, I'm not one of these people who believes that hard work is enough. You also got to get lucky.
Yeah.
And
It's a little bit of luck that you get. Everyone gets. On the way,
yeah. And so since then, I kind of became the hardest working person I knew, kind of thing. I just dedicated myself to it.
And what do you prefer? Are you a stage actor or are you a on-screen actor? What do you prefer?
Well, to be honest, it's more about my relationship with the material. And so in theatre, oftentimes, like I do Romeo and Juliet, I played Mercutio. This is a play that stood the test of time. This is hundreds of years. I did Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is like a classic African-American play. This is one of the greatest pieces of writing ever made.
Yeah.
So as an artist, what's going to compete with that, really?
Yeah, of course.
But money's nice in TV, boy. You know, you don't really get paid properly in theatre. You know, you can work
I wouldn't know.
Oh, come on. You're a big TV man. Don't mind him wearing his relaxed clothes now. He's got all Gucci in his house. So that makes a big difference. And also, actually, getting to work on things like Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that, which is just like high quality TV, you know, it starts to become more of a challenge. And now writing and directing and acting and producing in my own TV show, that again is its own own world, you know.
Yeah. So as an actor, is there anything you do to prepare? Like, is there because there's, you know, stand up, a lot of people ask, how do you prepare? Like before gigs, I am ultra chilled, chilling with the man there, busting jokes. If anything, too chilled. Like Mups knows, Mups is always at the gigs, filming and stuff.
Are you sober before? But do you drink? You have a little smoke?
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Okay.
Well, I drink. I don't smoke. But before gigs, I don't take any. I don't. Drink
You won't even have one beer, nothing.
Nah, because I need my mind to be fresh.
Coconut water.
Yeah, even if that is water. Purely. Right. Yeah.
Coconut water is too intense for you. Like, get this out of my
do you know
face.
what? Sometimes you know what? Like, nah, because you know you get that mad aftertaste, innit? So I'll be on stage telling jokes that.
I'm all about
any couples in tonight? I can just taste that nasty coconut water.
So you just keep it pure, right?
So with me for gigs, I tend to just and I've always done it. I've always just been really chilled, and it's helped me so much.
Right.
When I was first doing stand up, I felt like I had to do what stand ups do.
Right.
You pace around the room, and you check your notes, and then when I started doing this, I was like,
this is not helping me.
This isn't helping me.
Right.
And plus, with other comics, you get some comics for example, a friend of mine, Travis J, he does shadow boxing. Okay. That's his thing. Other comics like to be left alone. Some comics are quite nervous. They start telling you their material before they go on.
Right.
Yeah, man, I've got a joke. You know that? Oh, my man's, and you're like, brother.
Right. You're gonna have
away
to,
with your nervous energy, innit? So I like to just chill out with the guys. And if I'm by myself, then I'm ultra chilled. I'll kind of watch what's going on, and just be so chilled.
Right.
For me, I get more of an anticipation more than nerves.
But you've done your preparation by then. By then, you know what you're not going on stage thinking, oh fuck.
No, but sometimes I don't.
Okay.
If it's tour show, I'd know.
Right.
But if it's a show ask some of the guys. There's a lot of times I perform.
Well, you got a Netflix special, right? Or you right? I saw that. It was fucking great.
Oh,
but yeah, sick. But you're prepared for. You're not going on stage on that, not knowing. Okay, you're gonna tell this show. You tell this show. You know your arc.
Like things like that. When you're prepped. It's in muscle memory.
Yeah.
But when I do new material, I've got a couple of bits.
Right.
And then
you're
literally
exploring.
70% is improv.
Yeah.
And that's not improv with crowd work. It's just I'm gonna try this stuff.
Right.
And just go with it in the motion because I get the rawest way to try out with me improvising it and stuff. How do you prepare when you've got things like films and stuff like that?
I mean, you know, it's a lot. I'm a preparer, so I was trained in I guess the method in Stanislavski, and so very often first thing I do is I break down a script, and I figure out what my character's super objective is, what their objective is, what they want to achieve throughout the whole thing, what they want to achieve in any scene, what they want to achieve on any line, how they feel about each person. I'll do research. So for example, for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I traveled to New Orleans 6 months before I started the show. 6 months before I started rehearsing. I traveled to New Orleans. I spent a month there, learned how to play the cornet, which is the instrument my character played. I spoke to people. I researched. I went to old places. I will go quite far, to be honest, and then I read books around the subject. I do quite a lot of study, and then before I go into any scene, then there's two main ways of getting into an emotional state for the character. Either you kind of invest imaginatively, okay, I am this fireman, I am looking at this fire, or in terms of what the character's going through, or I do it metaphorically according to my life. Oh, the fire is the argument I'm having with my best friend, and the water is the, and so I'm trying to sort out the thing with my best, you know, so there are different techniques I employ to try and connect emotionally in the moment. But saying all of that, I've actually found that whereas the type of preparation I do for theatre is actually different from that of television and film, and oftentimes I found that some of my best work in film there's always like preparation that I do, but a lot of it is a lot more intuitive and just in the moment and less specifically thought out.
Yeah. So are you really into, when you say you're going to New Orleans, would you class that as like method then? Are you deep into your method acting?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, to some extent. I mean, like, for example, I often stay in character for the whole shoot. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, so, like, when that first season of Handmaids, it was 6 months. I was staying in American accent for 6 months. Like, yeah. I did this show called Looking for HBO, and my character was like, "Oh my God, stop it! You can't, no way." I was like that for 3 months, and so when we finished filming, and we had the off point, I was like, "Oh, you're right, man," and then people were like, "Who the hell are you?" I mean, to be honest, actually, I offended some people because they were like, "I told you about my divorce, bro. Like, and you were in character. What the hell is this?" And so, but you know, I don't do it just to giggle. Like for me, I've just realized, same as you try things out, that over the years, I figured out what brings out the best in me.
Yeah, of course.
And so, look, I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis levels where someone's like, you know, call me by my character's name and all that. It's more about just sitting in a physicality. Yeah.
Because you know, when I always hear about method acting, like I recently met Kano, he was on the Big Nasty show,
right? And
he was saying like he took his character really seriously. That the rival gang in Top Boy, he didn't talk to them on set.
I've seen.
What were they called? The ZTs. Yeah, he didn't talk to them on set. He was like, "Nah, you man are the rival, so I'm staying in character."
Right.
And I remember when you actually came to that pilot, when I was doing the geezer, I said, "I'm gonna stay in this geezer character and not show."
Right.
So I tried it, and for me, it's like I'm a comic first,
right,
and then the character second,
right.
So I remember I was like, the geezer, and then I don't know if you remember, we done like a policeman.
Yeah.
So much went into that. There was a lot of stuff we done, and every part of me was like, nah, don't break the character in front of me. Because at that stage, everyone just mainly knew me for the characters.
Right.
They didn't really see me as a stand-up. They'd be like, oh, he does the geezer character. So when they see me in the coat and stuff, they're like, yeah. I ain't gonna lie though, it is so tiring.
Yeah.
It is so mentally tiring to keep doing that accent. Even when a lot of times on tour, like I'd come out as the character and I'm on stage for about maybe like 15, 20 minutes doing this geezer character. Because what we do with a tour, I'd come out as a geezer character. What's that, man? You're right there, where you from? So I'd do all that stuff.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, I was literally like, towards the end of the tour, I was like, I'm fed up of doing this. I just want to go and do this. I just want to do stand up. So that's, I think for me, it's very easy to look at like method and be like, yeah, there's a character in it.
Right.
Be a laugh.
Right.
But when you're like 2 hours in.
No, it's work.
You're like,
but that thing about the tiring, that is actually part of the reason why I do it. Is because I'm trying to get my stamina up. Like, you might film on set for 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. And I've got to make sure that come hour 13, that my accent ain't slipping, that my physicality ain't slipping. So I've got to get my stamina up. So that's why days off, whatever, it's my workout. I'm being this character. So on for that, we've got to shoot, we're losing the light, you got 5 minutes to shoot it. It's not sloppy.
Yeah. Because I especially for TV and stuff, I kind of like, I won't stop until we've said cut.
Right.
And I think that's where I put myself in.
Right.
And that's where I kind of go into this mode of like presenter, comedian for the TV show. Right. So when the audience are there, I'm still talking to the audience as the comic.
Yeah.
But until it's like, all right, cut, we're done. Then I'm like, phew.
Right.
And it's like all the energy is just,
well, that's like I saw you at the end of that show, man. And you
because even all the cuts and stuff and
doing it again and again,
and it's just tiring. What was it like when you was in that? Because you said you was in an Oscar film, right?
Oscar-winning
director.
Anthony Minghella, the late and great.
What film was this?
It was called Breaking and Entering.
Okay, that sounds mad familiar still.
Yeah, well, you know, it had Jude Law, Juliette Binoche, Ray Winstone. Like, it was a bad boy cast. I had all of 6-7 lines in it, you know, but my character was like in the background a lot. So this was my first ever movie. Martin Freeman was in it.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about like preparations and stuff, like I remember, so I would just sit on set every day and watch. You know, it's Jude Law. It's Jude Law. That's Martin Freeman. That's Juliette Binoche. Like, this is heavyweight. So I just watch them and try and study them. And I remember one time seeing Martin Freeman. He was chatting to the director, Anthony Minghella, like big boy director. And he's chatting to him and he's getting notes. And then he kind of goes over to a chair and starts doing tricep dips. And he's going, And then we do that, all right, yeah. And then, what do you think about this? And he's doing tricep dips. And I'm watching him like, what is going on here? And I never know, you know, I've seen him a couple of times. I've meant to ask him about it at some point. But what I got from it at the time was that in the same way you see guys backstage pacing up and down, shadow boxing, this is a way that he could get into his body. This is a way that he could relax. And in a way, that's one of the most important things that I took from that is like, it don't matter if you look stupid. Do what you need to do to get your thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, because better you be embarrassed there than you be embarrassed when it's on TV.
Okay.
You know.
Do you ever feel pressured when you're in the room with these big actors?
The main pressure I feel is like not to be distracted by who they are. You know, like I don't feel intimidated by other actors, but it can be distracting. And I mean, also I can be acting opposite someone and be like, Jesus Christ, you're really good. Like, I hope I don't mess this up. But is it like my job is to stay in character and get what my character wants from that scene? My character wants this from the scene. That's what I've got to keep coming back to. And so, yeah.
Because I think when I started being around a lot of other comics, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but you know when you get that kind of like, it's like acceptance a little bit? Mm-hmm. Like, or even if they know who you are.
Right,
or,
yeah.
Like, yeah, man, your thing's well, I've heard about you.
Yeah.
That does so much for your confidence within feeling like you're like, I'm meant to be here.
Yo.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Handmaid's did that a lot for me. So I'm doing the new Marvel movie, Black Widow, right? And so we did Comic-Con and so many big actors there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And Mahershala
This is your first time at Comic-Con?
Yeah, first time at Comic-Con. And it was mad. And Mahershala Ali came up to me and was like, yo, bro, loving your work. I'm like, this guy even knows who I am. I've made it, man. Yeah. You know, and so, like, when you get, you know, people that you respect and admire, like, coming and showing you love, like, it's, you do, I do feel like, oh, wow, I've got to hear wherever here is, you know.
Do you ever find, like, because when I've gone out to the States, and me and Mops were saying this the other day, is like when I've gone out there and like I remember I met what's his name? It's a comedian, and I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Hannibal Buress, right?" He's like, "Nah, man, that ain't me, man." And I was so embarrassed, innit? I said, "Yo," and then this is me. I said, "Can I have a picture of you?" He's like, "Not if you don't know who I am."
Oh my God, why did you want a picture with him after? Don't dig the grave, bro. Just keep walking.
No, because I went there for the picture anyway. And I forgot his name. He's a comedian. He's in Get Out. He plays like the security.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's funny.
Yeah. But I've gone up to him with the confidence. Yo, Hannibal Buress, right? Nah, man. That ain't me, bruh. I said, okay. But then I don't know if it's me, I found when I've gone out to the States and you see a lot of like, you know, actors and, you know, like you do the whole like, hey, what's up, man?
Right.
What's your response been like? Because I feel like it's almost like waiting for them to talk to you a little bit.
Right.
Because I feel like it's easy to like go up to him and be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, my name's Mo. I'm a comedian.
Right.
All right, yo, man. That's cool, bro. What it is, man.
Right. So you're saying that you don't get a nice response from them back.
It's not the luck, because at the end of the day, it's like they don't owe you anything.
Right.
But I feel that like in the UK, there's a level of like, oh, what's up, man? Like Tom Hardy, nice to meet you, man. What's going on, bruv? Yeah. I act, by the way, too.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Man. Keep going with it, man.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the States, it's a little bit more. Like it's almost like like, you in Handmaid?
Right.
Do you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know what? To be honest, like I'm part of like a community here in the UK, a theatre community. But you know, I've been acting 15, 17, 18 years. So in this, this feels like home to me. I miss it when I'm in LA, in New York, because I know if I go to a theatre, I'm gonna buck up people and even people I don't know. You know, there is a kind of love. Like we realize, you know, like especially amongst the black acting community, like it's small and we're out here and there's a small amount of jobs. So like, yo, this is community. And so I
got
miss
a lot
that
of friends like
days.
that, man. And they all go to stuff and they're like, yeah, you going for that as well?
Right.
For that. And it's not competitive. It's almost like let the best man win, innit?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
one of us are gonna win, but
when it's at its best, it's like that, and that's what I like to try and give out, and that's what I try and believe in. You know, there are obviously in everything there's some people who are like trying to do their thing and think that their like competitiveness is gonna help them, but I don't know. I believe in sharing the love and stuff like that, and that's what a lot I see. You know.
Yeah. Now talk to me of this film you're doing with Black Widow, because you just said that like, yeah, I'm doing this film like Black Widow Comic Con. How did that come about? Like, what was it when you got the call? Like, obviously you must have auditioned for it.
Yeah, well, you know that.
Was it a self-tape audition?
Yeah. I was actually on vacation, my then missus, and and I was writing for Max, and the audition came through, and I was like, and it clashed. The dates clashed. So the movie couldn't work because I was gonna be shooting Max right then. So I just looked at the audition. I was like. And she was like, what are you doing that for? And I was like, oh, I was auditioning. You know, I probably won't get it anyway. You know, like they're gonna go get a big man to go do Marvel. Like, what's the point? You know. Yeah. And she was like, no, put yourself on tape. And I was like, oh. God. So anyway, eventually I was like, all right, fine, I'll put myself on tape. So I put myself on tape real quick, and then she was like, that's shit, what you just did. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, why don't you do it better? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Think so. So I did it again. I did it and I did it better. Yeah. And I sent it off. And then next thing I know, I get a call saying, yo, you're down to the final 5. They want to screen test you with Scarlett Johansson. I was like, yeah, okay, here we go. We're on some real shit now. But I was like, look, so I said to my agent, I said, listen, will you just tell them that they have to move their dates to work around Max? And my agent said, okay, yeah, but no, that's not how it works. It's a Marvel. They don't move things. I was like, yeah, but I've got to do Max. Like, this is my heart. I've been preparing it for 3 years. Like, I've got to do it. And she's like, well, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. So we were at a bit of an impasse. Yeah. And then next thing I know, they call up and they're just like, actually, you know what? They scrapped the screen test. They're just offering you the part. So now I'm like, huh? So now it's a real thing now. Before it was like, I'm 1 in 6 and da-da-da. Now it's a real thing. It's on the table. What you doing, bro? Yeah. Marvel. So
you didn't do the screen test with Scarlett Johansson?
No. I never did a screen test. Yeah, I just sent that one tape down. And then so now I'm in a situation.
So what was that feeling like? Boom, you got the part.
I mean, listen.
What did you say to yourself?
You know, it's amazing. It's extraordinary to me. It's mind blowing. You know, it's just.
Has it sunk in yet?
You know, I mean, I don't even know what sunken means really. Like, I did the job. I went and acted. We did all the bits for it, and so I'm gonna discover what it is. I'm gonna discover what the premiere and the press tour and all that. I'm gonna discover what that is. Yeah. But luckily, I chatted to Kate, who was the director of the movie, and I was like, look, you know, I really want to do this thing, but you know, I'm an indie filmmaker as well. I mean, I have a dream as a director, and she's an indie filmmaker too. And she was like, look, we're gonna make it work. Don't worry about it. And so we managed to make it work in such a way that I was doing pre-production for Max, you know, like picking a DOP and picking a costume designer, and then going to set and shooting Marvel, then going back and doing castings of actors, and so. Yeah, it was a lot. It was mad, but you know, I give so much thanks to Marvel because, yeah, they made it happen. They let it happen, and to Channel 4 as well. Obviously, they moved the dates for Max a little bit. So, yeah.
And how was Comic-Con? Was you like, because the film, when does the film come out? Are you allowed to tell us when it comes out?
It comes out May 1st, at least in America, I think it comes out May 1st.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost
so with the film Comic-Con, what was that experience like? Was that your first time there?
First Comic-Con. I mean, I'd heard about it. Like, everyone had told you, like, you are going into the madness, you know? So I was I was prepared to go into the madness. But I wasn't prepared to go into the madness because it's a madness, you know? And it's just because the passion for some reason, you know, like I did Doctor Who, right? I did 2 episodes of Doctor Who. Like, not a huge part, but like I'm in it. Yeah. To this day, I'm getting fan mail from Doctor 10 years ago. I'm like, these fans are so passionate, and so it's like the Marvel fans. They're like, I'm like, this runs deep for you. Like, this is not like, oh, I really like it. No, this runs deep, like, oh, my mum, my dad, Marvel, like, and so so it's crazy to be in the midst of that.
Well, like the fans, like, was they like asking for autographs and stuff?
Yeah, all of that. I mean,
because I seen, was you at the big reveal thing that they done? With all the films coming up and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I was part of that.
I think you posted that as well. On your Instagram,
on my Instagram. Yeah. Thank you.
So like, what was that experience like? Because when that happens, even in the guys in the WhatsApp group,
right,
are like, yo, bro, you know what's coming out in 2024 is this one and that one. And I'll be honest, I know like the kind of, you know, I know like my from my Hulks to my Falls and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like there's debate ones and stuff.
Right.
But then there's still other like ones I'm always discovering.
Right.
Through like mainly the films and stuff.
Right.
And even then when they released like, oh, we've got all these films, I said, what? There's more characters, and you know, like some of my friends are into it. They're like, yeah, bro, because what it is, he is my man's cousin, so they're gonna do and I'm like, oh, okay, well, man. So like to be part of like this kind of this franchise, like, are you nervous or anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, look, I try as much as I can to encourage myself to focus.
You got a figurine?
I don't know.
Bro, I might get a figurine, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm gonna get some comic books, bro. Get sign some stuff, bro. Trust me. Get sign some memorabilia.
Black Widow. They gave me some nice stuff, jacket and hat and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I just try and focus my mind on what's in my control. You know, the serenity prayer. God, give me the strength to change the things I can change, the humility to accept the things I can't, and the wisdom to tell the difference. And so I try as much as I can to kind of just focus on what I can. And I filmed it now. People are going to like it, don't like it. People are going to, whatever. What can I do? I've done it. That's not in my control. So I just leave that to Jesus, you know.
Because, I think being in one of those films, it must be like, no, I guess it's like, because you've got real fans of what the films are.
Right.
So you've got like huge fans where they're like, you know, there are some people waiting months, years for these films to happen. And then when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, I'm in it.
Right.
You could be in this for years.
Yeah.
Do you wear a costume or anything? You'd like to tell us?
Yeah, no, I've got no, I mean, I'm not a, you know, my character isn't I haven't got superpowers.
Yeah.
I mean.
Be like a bad man character.
Not really, look at me, bro. I'm not really the bad man.
My name's Chainsaw. I am Chainsaw.
No, you know what? They don't really cast me for the bad boy characters.
That's a bad boy name still. I am Chainsaw.
Nah, I mean, you know who my guy's like? It's a bit like Q and James Bond. Like, like I'm the one who hooks her up with all her things.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm kind of flirting with her. You know what I mean? So,
all right.
Yeah, that's my superpower, flirting.
Can I ask you this? I don't know if you're allowed to tell us, but did you, like, you know when you're on set, yeah? Like, you allowed to, do you teeth anything, like any of that?
Oh, it's very tempting. It's very, very tempting. No, I didn't really, because to be honest, actually, also a lot of my scenes, like...
But you gotta think, if you're wearing that cloak, that's the cloak, or whatever you're wearing, the coat from the actual film, the costume.
Right.
Grab that one time, put that in your bag, bro.
Yeah, but what am I trying to, you know, I'm trying to make some small money. Like, you're hoping that if you're in a movie that I might actually get paid. You know, like, you know, listen, I've been
no, but it's that memorabilia, innit? Like, if I was in a James Bond film,
right,
they said, yeah, you're gonna be like one of the baddie henchmen.
Right.
Take that coat you give me.
Right.
I'm taking this as my souvenir. This for me, innit?
Right. No,
not like man's a cracking. Hey man. Hey man. This real James Bond.
No, you're underestimating Marvel. They don't mess around. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Like, one time I was on set and I had my script. They give you the sides, you know, and then we're doing the scene. Blah blah blah. I finished the scene, and on the way out, I threw, you know, those old scripts in the dustbin, and next thing I see some guy. Terminator in it towards me. But I'm like, what the hell is going on? He comes up to me, goes up to the bin. You can't do this. You can't just throw it away. These need to be shredded. And I was, they don't mean what you. So you think you were walking around with a clothes? They're sniping, bro. Like, it's not. That is not the world we live in. It's not. I went.
Yo, swear, it's like that.
Yeah, no, it's like that. On every corner, I'm always surprised that the security around this is like, I'm like, is this what the president's got? Because the president's got this, he's all right.
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Bro, there's me thinking.
But it's like, I'll take this, put this in the bag. All the time you got red dots on your head.
Nah, man. You know what? It's just the hooded me, innit? Where he's just from the streets, where he's just like, man, I gotta let man know man was in Star Wars, bro.
Yeah, you'll be on the screen, they'll know you're in Star Wars.
Just in the barbershop, like, hey, Winston, it's a real lightsaber there, you know. Hey, don't tell no one, you know. So what was your first ever role, like, in terms of like TV? How old was you?
Well, after I graduated like 21. And then I started doing theatre, and I was doing like...
Was you ever like in like... Because everyone has to go through the rite of passage of acting being like Casualty. And
yeah, no, I did it all. I did Casualty, I did EastEnders, I did Hollyoaks, I did Doctors. Yeah, I played Goldie's henchman.
Goldie?
You know Goldie? Goldie did
yeah.
I played his henchman.
He was in EastEnders?
Yeah, he was in EastEnders. Yeah, about 2002. And I played his heavy. And, and I'm a skinny guy. Like, I was skinny then, you know. I'm not protecting anybody from anything. For whatever reason, they gave me the part. And so but I think the jokes. You know who Goldie is, right? Obviously. Yeah. All right. So I'm a young actor, and I don't know anybody. I live under a rock. I don't know anything. So I didn't know him from Adam, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm walking past. We'd finished filming. I was walking past Kentucky Fried Wimpy's back then, and I see him in Wimpy's and he's eating like this, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, I remember him. You know, he's from the. So I went to see him, and he caught me, and he's like, yeah, come sit down. He's eating, and I'm like, so, you know, nice to meet you. So I was like, so how's the acting going? And he was like, well, you know, mainly I did the music, you know. And I was like, oh, great. How's that going? and he stopped eating. He was like, I made a revolutionary album. Yeah. And I was like, oh, right. So good then. So he was like, He's like, I'm gonna give you a ride back to the studio. I was like, okay, cool. So we get outside. Man's got a Lamborghini outside. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's getting well for you then. So, so we get in the Lamborghini. I don't know if you've ever been in one of them. Putting on the seatbelt, not like a normal seat. It's like you're getting into a cockpit, like this. So I'm like, you know, act normal. And then what's his name? So he says to me, what's the fastest you ever been in a car? Yeah. I was like, huh? You know, when someone asks you a question like that, you know something's about to go down. So I was like, I don't know, about 100 miles an hour. He said, that's going to change today. Boom! And then we just took off down the motorway. And my man is driving. When you're driving fast and you're overtaking people, and just by doing that, like little, because you're just going like this. I was scared for my life. Anyway. That's the end of the story. We eventually got us home safely. But yeah, so that was one of my first experiences on set.
Yeah, you ever been starstruck by anyone you've met? Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
like, is there any actor you've met and you're like, oh my days, he's on set, I've got to be good today? It's
so obscure. Like, most people, there's an actress called Juliette Binoche, right? Who's a French actress, Oscar winner, nominee, I don't know. Anyway, and I just loved her work. She's amazing. And so I remember getting on set and we were sitting next to each other in the chair and she was like, oh, how's it going? I was like, good. You know, I was just had no conversation. I was just dry. Yeah. But for the most part, I don't know. Those aren't the people that really, you know, I'm you know, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really get starstruck so much. I mean, I get fascinated. I'm like, oh my God, like, I've seen you a lot of times. Like, me and Scarlett Johansson. It's like, I've seen you. Like, you exist in the screen and on the page. You don't exist in real life. Crack a joke. Yeah. You know, so it can be surreal. But I don't know. I know you shit. You know. Yeah. I know you're. I guess
when you're kind of within that kind of field, you're working, so it's hard to be like starstruck a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because you're just like, well, it's a day at work.
Yeah,
so I don't have time to.
You're here for something. And you better step up to it, you know. And also, you know, in our profession, you're put up against that adrenaline a lot. You go stand in front of a couple 100,000 people, you know, that's nerve-wracking. So you've got to be able to handle that experience, you know. But For sure, like I did some awards and the award ceremonies for like Handmaid's Tale, and I'd be sitting there, I'd be like we went on stage and I hugged Oprah. I've hugged Oprah. I've hugged.
What does she smell like?
Oprah like warm bread. No, I'm joking. No.
Nah, warm bread bags though. That's a nice smell, bro.
I'm home, mama. Mama, I'm home.
What was that? Was that at the Golden Globes?
Yeah, I think it was. Oh god, I'm gonna get embarrassed myself now. I think it was the Emmys. Like, I think the first, and we'd won everything that year. We won Best Actress, Best. And
warm bread.
Yeah, that was real. So that was very exciting. Maybe that might be my starstruck moment but it was just nothing made sense. I don't know, Robert De Niro over there, and like nothing was making sense. It was just like a dizzying.
Award
experience.
shows are quite mad because I've been to a few like award shows or like events. And you get there and it's gotta get your seat and all this kind of stuff. Right. But I remember we going to one fashion thing. Naomi Campbell, this fashion for relief thing. And I'm going to toilet. Pierce Brosnan walked past me. But you're walking like I was like, bro, hey.
Yeah.
I thought that I've only been starstruck. Not like starstruck. Sometimes it's like if I'm in a place and I see someone who isn't meant to be in that place, that's when I'm more like,
right,
you
right.
Like,
what's the most starstruck someone's been about you?
I don't know.
You must have had some people go mad, especially like teenagers. Like, you must have some.
I had this one girl screaming in the street once.
Right.
Yeah. That was mad. It was in Covent Garden, right? Me and my girlfriend, and we're walking, and this girl just goes, oh my god, and we're just standing there, and I was like, hello, you alright? She says, I can't believe it. It's you. I can't believe it. And I was like, yo, like, what go on? And then like the tourists are just like looking at me, like, who is this guy? And then she's like, oh my god, I gotta get a picture. I gotta get a video or something. So I was like, yeah, cool, man. Like, and then this is like on Covent Garden. So, like Covent Garden in like the daytime is quite quiet. It's not really a busy street. So then, this guy goes, who's that? Who's that? And my girlfriend goes, oh, he's a comedian. And then the guy like blatantly didn't know. He's like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Yeah. Right. I know who that is. But yeah, I think that I've had that one. I think that's really like the. I
had one like that. Goes, oh my god, I believe it. I'm like, with Bridget, I'm like, let's see what's going on here. So yeah, come on, it's Craig David. Yeah. All right. Bring me back down to earth.
As soon as you said that, because I remember you said that last time on my show.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, then I was like, oh right, yeah, you know that Craig David still.
Yeah, I mean, some people are really pushy. No, yes you are. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm about to move some furniture around, so you're gonna have to chill out. Going on like that, dickhead.
Mate.
Yeah, that's bad. So, but anyway, as I've been on television more, that's come down a lot. But it still makes me like, it still keeps you grounded, because anytime someone comes up to you, it's like, I love you, just like, what are you coming for? You coming for Craig? Or you coming for me? But it's become more me nowadays. So yeah.
What's it like being? Do you get noticed in the States?
Yeah, in the States and in the UK.
How is it out there?
You know what? The level it's at right now, my fame is so nice. It's so nice. Because it just means like once or twice a day, someone comes up to me and is like, I like what you do. Yeah. You're great. And I'm like,
I like those people still.
Yeah, and then they go away and I'm just living and just someone said something really nice. But like I've got a couple of friends like Samira Wiley, who's in Orange is the New Black, and she's also in Handmaids. Like, she can't walk down the street. It's a problem. It's a problem. And it's like, yeah, on one side you live in glitz and glam and you get to meet great people, but on the other side, you can't really walk down the street unless you're like in an awkward baseball cap and sunglasses. You know, like.
Does she play? She plays Poussey.
Yeah.
Poussey?
Yeah.
Bad boy character still.
Yeah, she's so
one of the coldest.
jokes.
When she died,
She's
I
so
stopped
much
watching
jokes.
it still.
So many people have said that to me.
I locked off the program. I said, no. You killed one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm done in it.
She's jokes. I get to do most of my stuff in Handmaids with her. Like, it's we
you have
live
a lot
together.
of scenes. Yeah,
so
a lot of scenes together. Yeah.
Yeah, she's so much jokes. She's good people. Yeah.
So I find like in the States with Fame, I think like I don't know. I think I've only noticed it just as like someone that's like gone there a bit. I find like Fame is like so much more like it's a lot more idolized a little bit.
Right.
It's sort of like sometimes you go into shops like when I've gone to New York and you see like actors up on the wall.
Right.
And nothing against these actors.
Right.
But it's like there's the like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
But you see certain man like okay, I know who that is, man.
Fair enough.
Okay. But like I think like what do you think in terms of Fame in the States? Like
yeah, I mean, but you know what? I feel like it's almost everywhere. Like so the TV show that I'm making that's coming out in April, Max, right? It's in a way it's about this character who was really famous back in the day, 2001, 2002, and then he dropped drugs, sex, rock and roll, his career crashed. And the whole series is about him
is he American, this guy?
No, he's English.
Okay.
His manager is American, played by this guy called Chris Maloney, who's amazing. And so it's all about him trying to make a comeback, but it's all about this thing about our fascination with fame. That to some extent we believe that fame equals relevance, equals significance. And for me, that kind of goes away from even like the celebrity level, even every individual person's social media account, even if they got 50 followers or something like that, it's like getting 51 followers that gives them a little bit, getting that 10 likes to 12 likes, it gives them, and it's like that's where we feel like we get a lot of our value now, is that like our proximity to fame, our proximity to likes and stuff like that. And so in a way that's a lot about what my TV show is like looking at, is that like what happens to a person and to society when you kind of over value something like that.
Do you feel pressure because this is a project you said that you've written it?
Written it. Yeah.
You seem really like involved. You like directing it, kind of producing it. Do you feel like there's a little bit of pressure because this is like you've worked on this for so long? You put so much into it, like you like move dates around to make it work.
Right.
Your project. What's the film called again?
The film is called Black Widow.
Oh, the Black Widow film.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you've kind of made it work. So is there a bit of pressure for you, like as an actor, to be like, I've been in control of like a lot of aspects of this. I'm doing all this kind of stuff for it, and now it's ready to go. Is there an element of pressure?
Yeah, I guess so. But you know what? I try and live my life in a way that I focus on process. Like I want the process to be my end. I want the journey to be the thing that I focus on, and that the end is an inevitability, which actually again I don't have as much control over. What I have control over is this step. I don't know if you ever watched, people should check out Will's Wisdom on YouTube. It's Will Smith chatting his a conscious brother, but it's a really great one.
He's high level of consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things he talks about is that like, his dad tells him to build a wall, and like this wall was huge, and he's a little kid. He's like, how do I build a wall? Anyway, over 2 summers, he's just one brick, then one brick, and eventually he builds this wall, and then his dad turns to him and says, don't ever say that you can't do something. Like you don't think, how do I build a wall? You just concentrate on how do I place this brick as perfectly as a brick can be placed. And so for me, my journey on Max or my journey on anything, I try and focus on the brick. I don't try and focus on the wall. The wall will be what the wall will be. But if I focus on the brick, then I've got the most chance possible for that wall to be something I'm proud of.
Right, that was a deep quote, boy. Don't focus on the wall. Focus on putting the brick that's perfect.
Yeah.
I lie, sometimes I'm focused on that wall, boy.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there just like, hey, bro, build this wall, bro.
Right.
Got things to do.
But it can be overwhelming, I think, sometimes. So for something like Max, this is like, it's 6 episodes. I'm co-directing it with a guy called Nick Collette, brilliant director. But I'm producing, I'm writing, I'm acting, and it could be overwhelming. You might think this is too big. I got 35 days to make this 6-part series, and so rather than become overwhelmed with that, that for me, it's almost like a coping mechanism. I just like bring it down to the basic. Like, I know where I'm heading, but let me just get this step right.
Yeah. And what's your dream like? Is there like a dream film you want to be in, or a dream actor you want to work with? Like, you want to work? Would you do a film like? Well, I say you would, but like working with like Denzel or something like that.
Oh man, I'd love that. But to me, if I was to say like what my dream is to make work which inspires people, like, and inspires people in different ways. It inspires them emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. Like, work, like it's great to make work that distracts people from their everyday life, and that's so valuable. I do not, but my personal ambition is to make work that makes people question and themselves and think philosophically and think, and inspire them to what they can achieve, and how can they overcome the struggles in their life.
Is there like a favorite film you'd want to be in though? Everyone's got that like, whew, I love to, if they remade that, or...
You know what, the problem is that...
Because now you're in like a Marvel film.
Right.
So that must be like, no, I wouldn't say like a bucket list, but like, I'm in a big franchise movie. And plus this one is quite anticipated as well, because the story of Black Widow goes quite deep.
People want to know. People want to love it. I think it's a sick movie.
Yeah.
You know what? One of my favorite movies is a Brazilian movie called City of God.
Oh,
have you ever watched that?
Bad boy film.
So sick.
My gosh.
It's so sick.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It's so good and in a way that movie does a lot of what I love in movies. Like, it entertains, it thrills, but there's poetry in that movie. There's beauty in that movie. There's philosophical thought in that movie. It works on so many levels. So if I could be a part of something like that, or that would be my that's the kind of thing that I aspire to.
And your favorite movie of all time?
Well, that's up there.
Yeah.
There's an Italian movie called Life is Beautiful, which is, you should check that out.
But any blockbusters we might know? These are some niche. You're in that mad section at HMV right now, bro. You're in that international section.
Do you know the Korean movie? I
said Italian.
Any movie that anybody has heard of?
Y'all don't like Die Hard?
Yeah. No, listen. I'm such a freaking geek. I actually made a list of my top 150 movies. I've got it on my in order. Really? Well, I've got to 75 in order. The bottom 75 is still a bit of a mix.
In order.
Yeah.
So what's top 5 then?
So top 5, I'd have to check my phone.
Okay, top 10.
But off the top, well, that makes it harder.
Off the top of the dome, like.
Yeah, off the top of the dome. Not off the top of the dome. Not in order. I got Pulp Fiction, English Patient.
English Patient.
Yeah, The English Patient.
That's like one of them RP movies.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
And it won like 10 Academy Awards or whatever. And it's a real Marmite movie. A lot of people don't like that movie. I cry every time I watch that movie.
Okay.
And then Life is Beautiful, City of God. And then When Harry Met Sally, was another one. When
Harry Met Sally, who's that? What's that?
Yeah, you watched When Harry Met Sally?
No.
Date night, I just sorted you out, bro. I just sorted you out.
Alright, cool.
Next night, you got your girl, you and your girl. Yes.
What's the one with the old man?
What, Notebook?
Yeah. Is it better than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a comedy though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the greatest comedies. Speaking of comedies, Princess Bride is up there for me.
Yeah.
What else is on that list? I don't know. I really, I get beef for it, but I really loved, I don't know if it's top 10, but I love Django and I love Black Panther. And so, yeah, I'd have to check that. Her is another movie I really like. Her, yeah, won Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars. It's about so basically, I'm really into artificial intelligence, right? Like, I'm obsessed with futurism, because I spend too much time on the internet reading about this shit. And most of the time, the theory is that when computers get smarter than people, Terminator go on, the Matrix is going to happen. Like, the computer is going to be obsessed with dominating us. Yeah. But what happens in Her, spoiler alert, what happens in Her...
Spoiler alert.
There's
a spoiler.
This is going to take like 30 seconds, so you can fast forward like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
At the end of Her, the computers are like, nah, we've got bigger things to handle. Like, we're going to go and start figuring out the rest of the universe. Like, you puny humans are like ants. You're irrelevant to us. And I think it's a much more interesting way of thinking about artificial intelligence.
So you see Her, is that the one where there's like, this guy's got a robot in it?
Yeah. He's like, it's basically Man Falls in Love with Siri.
Okay.
And Siri's played by Scarlett Johansson. But you her voice, just her voice.
Okay, I don't think I've seen this one.
Joaquin Phoenix from Joker. That's the main guy.
Yeah. Does he live in the woods or something like that? No, that's the next one where there's a robot and it's some female.
Oh,
robot.
I Am Mother or something like that.
Yeah,
is that right? I haven't watched
it's not
that.
that.
No, I haven't watched that.
Oh man, check this one out still.
Yeah, no, you listen. I'm giving you guys. Listen, check those movies out.
You gave me the spoiler, so I'll be watching like.
No. But it's to be honest.
If only I didn't know.
It's a story about heartbreak, really, and so and really mending your heart and stuff like that. So it's a much bigger movie than that. But yeah, Life is Beautiful, When Harry Met Sally, and Her.
Yeah.
I just couple of date nights in there.
And as a British actor, I was meant to ask you this before. I just clocked this right now. But as a British actor working in Hollywood, because Samuel L. Jackson came out and said, about British actors playing some of the parts. Yeah. Well, what's your view on this? Because British actors really taking over right now.
Black British actors are out there.
Doing bits.
We're out there. When I graduated in 2001, you know how many Black British actors were known in Hollywood? Known, Oscar nominated. You know how many? 0. Nobody was out there. Shout out to Mariam Jean-Baptiste, but now we've got Idris, we got Chiwetel, we got David Oyelowo, we got my girl from Harriet, whose name just slipped my mind. Ruth Negga was nominated for an Oscar. There were so Cynthia Erivo. There's so many of us out there now, and honestly, I'm very sympathetic because African Americans have been through a lot of shit. And now they're facing lots of jobs. I'm sympathetic. I mean, at the same time, I'm like, if you're doing the business, which, Daniel Kaluuya's doing the business. Who else do you want to watch and Get Out than Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Nobody. He smashed the living shit out of it.
Cold actor, man.
He smashed the living shit out of it. So it's hard. So I don't know. I'm torn in two directions. What I really hope for is that the British film industry, television industry can get its act together, get us behind the camera, get us producing and directing and writing and creating more roles that the Black British talent which is here can exploit more and enjoy more. That for me would be my focus, rather than saying, oh, should they be there? Should they not be there? Can we grow it here at home where we're doing work which really transcends and goes international,
Because I always feel like with a lot of the actors that are in the States, and they're smashing it, Damson Idris in Snowfall and stuff like that. But then I always think it's always weird because in the States, he's so well known. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Just an example, in the States, he's so well known for he's part in Snowfall. There's a guy I follow, he's from the States, and he's always bigging him up, oh my. Right. And he's got these, I forgot his name, I really should remember it, but he's got these amazing threads on American history, mainly Black British history. Right. So he'll be he tells you who the real Rick Ross. Right. What's his name again? Freeway. What's his name again? Freeway Rick Ross. What's his name? The original Rick Ross.
Yeah, his name is Rick Ross.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I was making sure I get it exactly. But he does these amazing threads, and he's an amazing. I really need to find this guy's at, but he's always bigging up Damson of his part in
Snowfall,
and that's he's from the States,
right?
But then I always feel sometimes do you ever feel as an actor when you're doing really well over there, it's almost but why am I not getting any love from home? Do you know what I mean? Why am I not celebrated at home the way I am abroad a little bit?
You know what? The thing is that is the experience of a lot of Black actors, and it's real and it's a problem. My personal journey has been the exception to the rule. So England has provided me my first theatre job, my first theatre lead, my first television show, my first movie, my first directing opportunity, my first writing opportunity. England, now America has offered me a lot as well, but I'm not a person personally that can go, run this place, what's wrong with it? But that's just my personal experience. I'm aware that the experience of, and look, I mean, you had a great career from England, and so there are opportunities. The problem is they're not enough, and the problem is that they don't often exist in executive levels and directorial levels and behind the camera levels. And so So for me, that's my passion. But I'm not someone. I'd be hypocritical if I was just like, you know, oh, what's it ever given me? Because actually, I've had a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting better as well.
Just to clarify, obviously with Dampton, he gets a lot of love here. I just think like it should be a little bit more like in terms of like mainstream.
Yeah.
Like he tweeted something. The only reason why I asked because he tweeted something recently where he said, you know, I've done I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, but I couldn't get on a British TV
Jonathan
show
Ross,
here.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, "Raw, man, that's a piss take, man."
Yeah, it's
know?
really interesting. There's another actress whose name I can't remember right now, who's so sick, black British actress. Anyway, I'm almost proving the point where she's like just one of these people that just should be known and celebrated as one of our best, but isn't really known. But
because I always feel like we could be in a place where, you know, a lot of actors are seeing, you know, the new generation of actors are just seeing like all these amazing actors and they're killing it in the States, and then they're like, do you know what? I'm gonna go out there and make it.
Yeah.
And I could imagine there are a lot of people who are just saying, do you know what? I'm going States, like straight away.
Yeah, I guess the problem is that it's hard out there.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks like the streets are paved with gold and there's opportunities aplenty, but the competition is real out there. Like I remember one of my first auditions in America, I was reading the script and it said, oh, you know, he's got a white tee and dog tags, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy a white tee and dog tags and like come to the audition like dressed like the character, like boom. Yeah. So I did that. Went out, got my white tee, dog tags. I worked on the script, and I turned opening the thing, and there's 40 guys in white tees and dog tags. And like this one's more buff than me. That one's better looking than me. That one's got green eyes. That one's got afro. That one's like. I was like, wow. There I was thinking I was doing something special. There's 40 of them and another 40 on the list. Like, and so you realize real quick that like
that must be so awkward, like sitting there, dog tags ding 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 ding. Welcome, brother. Where you get yours, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in Navy, yeah?
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah. What is it like going in that audition room with other actors? Is it quite intense?
Yeah. I mean, it can be. It can be. I mean, I'm lucky to an extent. I just reading on the news, Nigeria got this anyway. First, this corona. Are you scared of corona?
No. There's been foot and mouth throughout my years of my existence. Right. I've seen it all come and go.
Right. You're not worried about
Ebola, innit?
Yeah.
SARS.
Whatever. Next one.
I'm alright.
Alright. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I have bitch
wait, what were we just talking about?
About auditions.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? I guess. Yeah. No. I mean, like they're stressful, boy. And but I figured pretty early on in my process, I realized that. You know what? For the rest of my days, I'm gonna be auditioning, right? All things being equal. So I better learn to like it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have something that's in my life every time that hurts me and makes me anxious and sweat. So I just had to learn various techniques to enjoy that process, and it's still stressful, but I found ways to kind of like find it a bit more doable. Do you do acting audition? Do you audition in the
I've done some self tapes recently.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've done some US self tapes.
All right. How's your American accent? I heard you do a little bit. How's it?
It's okay. It's but the character I had to do was from Georgia.
Okay, how did that sound?
So I had to get the twang.
What's the twang sound?
How did it go again? My name's from Georgia. Yeah. How did it go? Georgia. Yeah. What up? My name's Mike. I'm from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? I just work like lifting heavy things. So I had to try and get the South there.
Yeah, right. That sounds pretty good.
I was getting still. I was trying to impress still.
Obviously, the audition. Give him the job.
Obviously, you're actor, innit? I'm not trying to get that. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that.
Yeah, no, good. You know, keep working.
We'll give you a call.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming. You know what hurts me the most is when you're still in the room and they start talking to each other. And they'll be like, you be like, you finish and they're like, oh great. So anyway, I was like, and they start chatting to each other, and you're just like, oh Jesus, you really don't give a damn about me. You've forgotten about me, and I'm still in the room.
Is that not them just talking amongst themselves about the audition?
Listen, I've been in an audition once. I went into this audition for, what's the movie? It's a Brad Pitt movie. I can't remember. Anyway, I went in for the audition. And there was a bit, I was playing American, but there was a bit in it where the guy speaks Shakespeare. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bust it out in an English accent. You know, this is before there were a lot of English people out there. And so I do my bit in the English accent and I stop. And they're like, oh, you're English, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, great. Well, thanks for coming. Doors over there. Why don't we get some other English actors in? I heard there's a guy in History Boy and they start talking about the next people they want to bring in for the... While I'm standing there like, oh, I gotta go. And you're talking about, well, that doesn't work. But just giving me an idea for some other people.
Was this an American?
Yeah, this is one of my first American auditions. Yeah,
they're quite cutthroat out there, though. Not gonna lie. I've been in meetings in the States. Man has his phone out, bro. Okay, that's great. Well, we should definitely do lunch.
Right.
Okay, cool. Hold on one second. Let me just call. Hey, Patrice, how's it going? All right. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, blood, like, what you did? But OT, man, honestly, bruv, it's so sick to have you on the pod.
It's been fun, man.
And like, I'm really looking forward to this project you got coming out. When does it come out?
MAXXX. It's on E4 beginning of April. Okay. So yeah, people check it out. I think people are gonna really love it.
Yeah, nah, man, honestly, man, and like your success it's just very inspiring because you're just someone who's like you've never given up and you've kind of got to the heights of like where you are, but then I still feel like there's so much more to come that we haven't seen. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I really admire about acting. It's like it's a longevity game.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like you can be in like this hit when you're young,
right?
Which sometimes can be a little bit harder for you because then you're like, oh, you're the guy from that film,
right?
So yeah, I think there's so much like more to come. Do you know what I mean?
Hopefully, thanks for saying, man. And I'm such a big fan. So
big ups, bruv.
So yeah, we'll see.
Man, we'll get you on the show, man.
We got to find a movie together to do. We find a comedy movie, me and you.
UK Bad Boys.
Yeah, the UK Bad Boys.
Bad boys. What are you going to do?
British Bad Boys.
But yeah, man, guys, if you did enjoy it, do not forget to follow OT on all the socials. What are your socials?
Instagram and OT Fagbenle on Instagram and Twitter.
And if you did like, don't forget to subscribe. All that good stuff. Do not forget to use the hashtag, which is hashtag no money, no problems, or hashtag NMMP. Take care. Thank you for listening or watching. Peace. And yeah, respect your mum. Peace.
Rizzle.